Remember my experience with the police in Nigeria was very negative. The police in Nigeria would rob us. So it's a very poor country, so people do all sorts of things. And
do you trust the British police?
I do, but remember my experience with the police in Nigeria was very negative. And coming to the UK, my first experience with the police was very positive. The police in Nigeria would rob us. So when people say, I had this bad experience with the police because I'm black and they're white, I was like, well, I remember the police stole my brother's shoes and his watch.
His shoes?
Yeah, they took his shoes and his watch. It's a very poor country, so people do all sorts of things, and giving people a gun is just a license to intimidate. But that's not the bar we should use for British police. Obviously, it should be much higher. But my experience was so positive. When I was burgled, for example, the police were there, very helpful. They eventually caught the person. This is 2004, so 20 years ago. The police did catch criminals, and now we've given them too much to do, in my view. So the police are the first line of defense for everything. And I think that burden makes it a lot harder for them to actually do the basics. And that's another thing that we need to look at. If I wanted to be in Nigeria, I would have moved back to Nigeria. I don't want to recreate Nigeria in the UK. And I think that there are many people who come from countries where they want to recreate what they are familiar with in the UK. That is bad for social cohesion, and it is bad for the very things that made Britain what it is. All of those things which I know you use liberal differently in the US, but there's things that I call liberal values, free speech, equality under the law. People don't understand how special this stuff is. Freedom, that being treated the same no matter who you are, whether you're the poorest person or the richest person, the presumption of innocence, something that's thrown away with cancel culture. We've got to fight these things. And I know what it is like to live in a place that doesn't have these things. So it's very, very precious. And I will die to protect those things. And I don't want the UK being turned into the sort of place that everybody else is running from. Somebody has to defend it.
I love what Kemi Badenoch is doing to Nigeria. I love it so much because we in Nigeria, we are hypocrites. We are a bunch of hypocrites. We are suffering in this country. This country is in a deep mess. Nigeria has gone to the wolves. Nigeria is not working. But we don't want to tell ourselves the truth. Rather than holding those that are charged with the responsibility of pushing this country forward accountable, we would rather be mute. Some even go as far as singing the praises of politicians. We become sycophants to them. Those of you singing the praises of Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the social media, tell me one simple thing that you are praising him for. What exactly has Bola Ahmed Tinubu done for Nigeria and Nigerians that is making you to praise him? All of a sudden, we've forgotten that we are having the worst inflation in history. All of a sudden, we are forgotten that we are buying fuel higher in the history of this country. All of a sudden, we are forgotten that the purchasing power of the people has greatly reduced. All of a sudden, we are forgotten that Naira is at its all-time high. But go on social media, you see some person, they will keep praising and supporting these same politicians that have thrown us into this mess. It's taking someone like Kemi Badenoch to expose the rot in this country. But go on social media, you see that some persons are even attacking her for speaking the truth. According to them, she's denigrating Nigeria. What is there to denigrate about Nigeria? Nigeria has already denigrated herself, a country that cannot protect her own citizens. This is the same country where the government arrested minors and incarcerated them for days for protesting against that same government. Is that not denigrating enough? A country that the government is throwing in millions of her citizens every year into poverty without bringing out anyone out of poverty. Is that not denigrating enough? A country with a corrupt judiciary. The judiciary is seen as sacrosanct, as a sacred institution. But here in Nigeria, our judiciary is the most corrupt in the history of this country. Just this year, the judges in this country were regarded as the most corrupt individuals in this country. Judgment is reserved for the rich alone. As long as money is involved, the judiciary does no longer defend the constitution. The judiciary has desecrated the Nigerian constitution. Is that not denigrating enough to Nigeria? A country that cannot conduct a free and fair election. Is that not denigrating enough for Nigeria? A country with a weak and captured National Assembly. A National Assembly that does no longer defend the people. A National Assembly that is not loyal to the people. A National Assembly that is loyal to the president. Is that not denigrating enough? A country where the security agencies that is charged with the responsibility of protecting citizens, they are the ones that is going after the life of citizens. Security agencies that are charged with the responsibility of stopping crime, they are the ones now involved in criminality. Is that not denigrating enough? Nigeria and those at the helm of affairs, they've denigrated this country to the highest level. But when someone go on national television to talk about what is happening in this country, we see the person as an enemy to this country. We see the person as denigrating Nigeria. You see people criticizing the government, speaking truth to power, holding the government accountable as not being patriotic. But real patriotism is the willingness to challenge the government when it is wrong. A true patriot hates injustice in his own land more than anywhere else. The greatest patriotism is to tell your country when it is behaving dishonorably, foolishly, and viciously. Mark Twain says, patriotism is you supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. You don't support a government when it does not deserve it. At this point in time, Nigeria and the government does not deserve any form of support and praise from the Nigerian people because they are not living up to the expectation. They deserve all form of criticism that is coming their way. We should be giving them criticism. We should put them on their toes. We should make them to do the work they were elected to do. They are not doing Nigerians any favor. Kemi Badenoch is talking about the Nigerian police today. And most of you are going to support them because you know that the Nigerian police, they are the worst institution we've seen in this country. They are so corrupt, but they are not in isolation. Every institution in this country is corrupt. The executive arm, the judiciary, the legislature. Just mention one institution in this country that is functioning maximally well. In 2024, we are still complaining about poor network. I have MTN and 5G router in my house, but I don't have stable network. Look at our banking sector, performing below expectation. So the police is not in isolation. The only reason why their activities is so brazen is because they are doing it with gun that was given to them to protect the people. Most Nigerians are seeing Nigerian police as the real armed robbers, as the real criminals. How do you use the same gun that was given to you to protect the people, to rob the people in a broad daylight? There are horrible tales of the Nigerian police criminality against the Nigerian people. Every day on social media, we keep seeing how they are extorting Nigerians. We keep seeing how they are maltreating Nigerians. We keep seeing their brutality against the Nigerian people. If not for social media, especially X, most of the atrocious activities of the Nigerian police would have gone unnoticed. How do you tell a Nigerian that you will kill him and put a gun on him and nothing will be done about it? How do you tell a Nigerian that if he refuses to bribe you, you are going to kill him? And these are the things they have been doing to Nigerians that have not been caught on cameras. Every day, they keep stealing from Nigerians in the name of extortion, using their gun to steal from Nigerians. And monies are being recovered on a daily basis, but yet the criminality still go on. Go on our major roads. You will see the Nigerian police being stationed on this major road, extorting money from motorists, from innocent Nigerians, from travelers. Despite the exposure on social media, this thing has continued unstopped. Do you know why? Because the people at the helm of affairs in the Nigerian police, they are ogas. They are the one that is encouraging this. They are the ones that are sending out their boys to go out on the street and extort Nigerians. Go and take money from these people and they will share it equally. The more you keep bringing returns, the more they keep sending you out to go and stand on the road. That is how it's been done in the Nigerian police force. Nigerian police are stationed in front of their own station collecting money from motorists. This is to tell you how brazen their corruption is. They are not even hiding it anymore because it has now become their custom. It has now become their tradition. This is now their daily modus operandi. So you don't need Kemi Badenoch to tell you the criminal activities of the Nigerian police. Of course, she is doing a comparison between the Nigerian police and the British police. No matter the accusation against the West, Europe, there is one thing you cannot accuse them of, and that is violation of human rights, especially to their citizens. The reason why the West, Europe, is what it is today, it is because of rule of law. They respect the rule of law so much, and majority of their security operatives are professionals. They know their duty is to go out and protect you, and they do it with every sense of humility and love. Unlike what we have here in the Nigerian police force. Majority of our Nigerian police, of course there are good ones there, but majority of them are doing it as if they are being forced to do the job. They are not professional one bit. Majority of them are criminals. How do you expect a country to grow when the security operatives are behaving in this kind of manner? So rather than trying to attack Kemi Badenoch and stopping her from saying it the way it is, we should be holding our government accountable. Nigeria is not doing the right thing. Nigerian politicians are not doing the right thing. This country is in a deep mess. We should stop hiding away from the truth. No one can fix this country except us. Even the politicians cannot fix this country. We, the citizens, we are the one that we ensure that this country is good, because these politicians, they are comfortable. They are comfortable in their collective unity of looting this country dry, and they want it to continue. They want the status quo to continue. But you and I, the citizens, what is left for us? Nothing. It is our duty and responsibility to be united in ensuring that these guys who are politicians, who have been entrusted with the responsibility of managing the resources of this country, they do their best. They do what is obtainable of them. We should stop defending them. We should stop attacking voices that are speaking against criminality in this country. Imagine attacking someone like Dele Faro Timi that is speaking up against the criminality in the Nigerian judiciary. Is the Nigerian judiciary not criminal enough? They are. So why are you celebrating his arrest rather than speaking up and staging a protest asking the government to release him? If you succeed in fighting all the dissenting voice, if you succeed in fighting all the voices that are speaking against injustice in this country, when the injustice come for you, no one will speak for you. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.